Hi, my name is Alexander Helson and Anthony. Today, my friend and I will present for the assignment video for MEM360, and our task is group assignment 1. So our task is to basically to discuss about the process for the bicycle rim. So I would like to continue it with my friend Adli Azim for the process flow and process selection.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Azim. So earlier in these 2 weeks, I have been assigned to do a task that is to discuss the most suitable manufacturing process for bicycle rim. So I'm going to present about process selection and process flow. So first thing first, I choose aluminium as the material because aluminium has a lower price, yet is very strong and durable. Also, it is very light compared to other metal. So the second process is extrusion process, hot extrusion. Why I chose hot extrusion? Because large deformation can take place without fracture as the material is under high triaxial compression. First, the material comes from aluminium billet, and then it is extruded to form something like this. Okay. The second process is bending. The bending we will use ring rolling technique. So why we use ring rolling technique? It's because to make the extruded aluminium to become circular in shape. Before the previous process makes the aluminium that straight in shape. So after the bending, the aluminium will be circular. It also has short production times. It also saves material and has a close dimensional tolerance. So the third process is the welding process. Because after ring rolling the material will be separated. So the welding will be used to join the metal to form a bicycle rim. In this welding process, we use GTOR, or also known as gas tungsten arc welding, because the material is aluminium. So GTOR is suitable for the welding. So for the fourth process is anodizing. Anodizing is used to change the color of the bicycle rim. Also, the color of the anodizing depends on the time consumed anodizing and the electrolyte used in the process. Why we need to anodize the bicycle rim aluminium? Because it is to increase corrosion resistance. Because anodizing is like a coating, like thin coating around the material. As we know, bicycles are used in extreme terrain and extreme conditions, such as when it is raining and when at the park. So the chance of the material to be wear and tear is very high. So anodizing reduce the risk. So the next process is finishing process. So finishing process is to make the surface smooth. It also makes sure that the tire that fits into the rim fits perfectly and did not have any loose. So the air in the tire will not lose its pressure. So in this the previous process, like welding process, has create a rough edge around the bicycle rim. So the finishing process is used to smooth the surface. So the last process is drilling process. drilling process. So this drilling process is to make sure the spook can enter the bicycle rim. The spook support the weight of the bicycle and the cyclist. So drilling process is also quite important, because if the drilling is not centered perfectly, the weight will be distributed unevenly. So the drilling process must be drilled precisely lah. Why spook? Why spook instead of normal rim? Because spook is light in weight and also save a lot of money for the cost of making.
Okay, now is my part. There is the advantages of the process. For the design flexibility, we know the sand casting is excellent for the prototype and job that might require the flexibility in both size and weight. So the only size and weight restriction are the amount of material available and the size of the foundry. The second advantage is the large material choice. Another benefit is we can use, because out there we know that there are many of large number of different casting material. As long as the alloy can be met, it can be used to create product with the sand casting. Low production cost, as we know that equipment, tool and equipment costs are generally much lower than the cost associated with other metal manufacturing processes. This makes the sand is one of the cheapest method to make this bicycle rim. Then short lead time is mean that the production time to make the product is very faster, and then it makes this method one of the fastest form of casting. This is the advantages. First is the low strength. Sand casting is excellent for the prototype, but it might require the flexibility in the both weight size and weight. So this process have the low strength and then low dimensional accuracy, poor surface finish, and defect always happen for this sand casting. And then this is the defects. The first one is unfilled section, that is mean the insufficient material low pouring temperature. The second one is the porosity, that melt temperature is too high, non-uniform cooling rate. Sand has low permeability, the hot tearing, non-uniform cooling rate, and surface projection. Erosion of sand mold interior, a crack in the sand mold half shaft. Then the last one is safety. The first safety is most important, is wear the ice protection. The second one is the sand must be clean before we start the product, before we start the working process. So the third one is clean or wet up mold required it. And the metal added to heat must be free of the moisture and impurities. This is to prevent our metal don't have any defect at all. So then we also don't touch the heat, don't touch the don't play with the tool that dangerous in the lab. That is very important before we making this process. I think that's all from our group. Thank you.